Hello everybody, welcome to another beautiful video here to help you connect to your feminine energy. It is your favorite goddess coach, Jaylyn, and just like the title suggests, we're going to be talking about how to increase your magnetism. We are going to be talking about how to be the woman who naturally receives all that she wants with ease, how to be the kind of being who attracts. And a lot of this has to do with femininity and feminine energy. However, I'm going to talk to you today about something that's not often talked about. One of the hidden principles that actually allows you to always stay in your feminine energy. And it actually has nothing to do with feminine energy at all. Okay, so if you're ready to hear more about that, then definitely thumbs up this video. Comment down below the word magnet if you're ready to tap into this energy and frequency. Okay, so like I said, in the past couple years, feminine energy was so popular and has been so freaking popular. People making all these videos on softness and femininity and feminine energy and how that's the key to everything you want. And absolutely, that's so true. Me, as a goddess coach, I love feminine energy and I love connecting to the feminine side of being because there's two aspects of creation. You have masculine energy, which is the logic, the structure, and then you have the feminine side of creation, which is the flow, the juice, the thing that's often not talked about that actually allows you to stay in your feminine principle. Actually, like I said, has nothing to do with feminine energy at all and has everything to do with masculine energy. As a feminine woman, you need masculine energy in your life. And the easiest way to always have access to masculine energy without having to have a man in your life, you could be single, you could be in a relationship, whatever the case is. But the easiest way to always have access to masculine energy is actually having a relationship with the divine masculine God, Father God. A lot of the times, we go into things and we think it's always about the feminine principle, the feminine principle, the feminine principle. You cannot create anything in existence without both aspects of creation. And as a woman, you are the human representation of the divine feminine presence. You want to know how you can always stay soft when you know that no matter what, you always have a being in your life that is looking out for you, who's protecting you, who's making sure that all your needs are provided for and all your wants are provided for. And that is God, period. And no, this has nothing to do with religion and a super hyper structured patriarchal way of viewing it and all that kind of stuff. No, this has everything to do with the energetic component of God, Father God, Mother God. If you have a relationship with God, you will always stay in your feminine. Because at the end of the day, what is the most feminine thing out there? It's being stress-free. It's having faith. It's knowing that your wants and your needs are always going to be provided for. It's feeling safe in your body, safe, like safety and safeness. Like that feeling of safety is the core of any feminine energy ever. And when you know that no matter what, like I said, you could be single, you could be in a relationship, you can be in any kind of situation. If you know that you always have a relationship with Father God, you will always be taken care of. And that's the thing that most people don't talk about. A lot of women have a God wound because the Bible and these religions that were created by man and structured by man have destroyed our relationship to what is sacred. Because a lot of the times in these sacred texts and books, they've been manufactured and they have stripped away the feminine components of the divine feminine goddess principle in the Bible, in these different sacred texts and stuff of that sort. When really, when you do your research, like looking at the Gospel of Thomas, looking at the Gospel of Mary, looking at the different feminine principles, even in the Bible, Queen of Sheba, the Queen of Heaven, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Jesus' favorite disciple, Mary, all these different things. The feminine principle has always been there, but it's been downplayed. And when we have a relationship with religion that is missing the feminine component, we get a space of what we see today. Religion being used as a means of control instead of as a means to connect to the Most High. You get a society that pushes rules and structure and almost kind of like punishes you and fears, like makes God this super fearful thing that is, hurtful and is going to make you burn in hell if you're not perfect and all these kind of things, instead of realizing that God is love. God is love. God literally like starts from your freaking heart space. Like even the idea of people fighting wars, right? Killing innocent people because of a religious war, absolutely makes no sense. It is completely disconnected from life, which is God. But like I said before, at the core of femininity is a sense of safety. When a woman doesn't feel safe in her body, safe in her environment, safe in who she is, she doesn't feel secure in who she is, what happens? When you don't feel safe in your body, you have to put on armor. So that means you walk with less fluidity. That means naturally you have a little bit more of this energy that's naturally going to be more on the offensive type of energy because you don't trust that you're safe. Naturally, you're going to be more combative. Naturally, you're going to be all of these things because you inherently don't feel safe in who you are. You don't feel safe in the presence of the feminine because you don't trust that everything is okay. It's almost like if you're living in survival mode, if you're stressing about bills and wondering how you are going to live and survive, and then somebody's like, hey, just, take a deep breath and be soft and be feminine. You almost want to slap somebody in their face because it's like, what are you talking about? I'm stressed out. But you want to know what happens when you actually connect to the divine masculine principle? Naturally, you remember that you'll never have to want for anything and that your needs will always be provided for. Naturally, you'll connect to that higher perspective that knows all because God is all that is and sees all that is. And you'll remember that you are connected to all that is. So therefore, there's always a way out of any situation that you see in front of you. There's always an answer to your problems. There's always something going on. If there's something going on in your physical reality, instead of feeling like you need to be in control of it, naturally you step back into this place where you're like, okay, I trust you, God. Obviously, if something is looking crazy in front of me, it's because it's happening for me and not to me. So therefore, I'm going to let this way out and I'm going to stay level-headed. I'm going to stay centered. A lot of the times we get into spaces where we feel unsafe. So therefore we start to try to control things and try to figure things out. And we get hyper anxious and hyper independent. And we start to do all the things to try to control life when really we need to trust in God and trust that everything is going to be okay no matter what. And I'm telling you, the more that you connect to the divine masculine principle as the divine feminine, you will always be able to maintain that sense of magnetism because you won't be put off your center. It'll be easier and easier for you to find your inner sense of peace. Everybody always talks about, men be like, I want you to be their peace. I want you to be my peace, da 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 da. You cannot give what you aren't. So finding a sense of inner peace inside of yourself starts with having a relationship with the divine. And once you have that relationship with your divine, you understand you are always safe, that everything is okay. The next key is understanding that everything that you see in front of you any situation, it's not the situation that is actually causing you the pain and suffering and all these thoughts that are taking you out of your softness. Actually, it is the thoughts that you have about the situation that cause you the most pain and suffering. Let me say that again. It is not the situations in front of you, which means it is not the man in front of you that is causing you to step out of your softness and causing you to react in a way that gets you off of your center. It is not the situation in front of you, the bills or whatever the case is, the business or whatever the situation is. It is your thoughts about the situation that cause you to get in a space of suffering or take you out of your softness or take you out of your inner peace. And when you let that land and when you let that fully sit inside of yourself, you realize you don't have to give power to anything that is happening in your life. You don't have to give power to anything that is happening in your life. You remember who you are, and you remember that you are always safe, and that all of these things that happen, it doesn't have to affect you. And that comes from God. The divine masculine is that center of stillness. It is that principle of being able to stay grounded, being able to stay rooted. When you look at the ocean and you see an ocean with all these waves and huge tsunamis of emotions and feelings and things shifting, what is at the center of it all, holding everything together? It is the earth. It is the grounded force that is always containing whatever is happening and moving in front of us. And connecting to that stillness within and without is the key to always being still and always being in your center. At the end of the day, no matter what you're feeling, you know that you'll always get back into your center peace. And that's at the core of any feminine energy, and not feminine energy that is dependent on somebody else bringing it to you. It is femininity that is literally natural, coming from your own state of being. And then the last point is the number one way to build a relationship with God as the divine feminine is to have a relationship with faith. What is faith? Faith is believing in something. Faith is trusting. Faith is acceptance. Faith is a knowing. Faith is conviction. When we have faith, and we can have faith, literally it heals all. It's for example, let's say you have a man in your life and you don't inherently trust in masculine energy because of whatever reason. Maybe you didn't see a steady father figure in your life growing up, or maybe you only saw one aspect of your being, whatever the case is. For whatever reason, you inherently don't believe in masculinity. You can't trust it. So you don't believe it's going to come through for you. You don't believe that men are going to come through for you. You don't believe that there's good men out there. You believe men are always going to do something to you. Now, you have a man in your life. If you inherently don't trust men and you don't trust masculine energy, what do you end up doing when men are around you? You try to control them. You don't trust in their ability to do what they have to do. So therefore, you always step in and try to help them. Let's do this. Well, maybe you could do this. Actually, you can go here. Actually, you can make it right. Actually, you can go, let's try that. Oh, da, da, da. You don't ever let that man do what he needs to do because you don't have faith in that man. You don't have faith in that man to do what he needs to do. So therefore, what happens is you'll either attract very feminine men who are like, okay, cool. Okay, you want to do everything? Okay, awesome. I'll just sit back and relax and let you do everything. And then you'll sit there and complain and be like, I always attract men who don't do anything for me and this, that, or third. Well, actually, you turned into the masculine energy. Instead, you can have a relationship with the masculine where you know and have faith that the masculine will always come through for you. You naturally believe that God will always come through for you. You know that God is capable. You know that anything is possible and there's not nothing that is too big for God. It's the same way that how you treat men. It's the same relationship. So when you have a relationship with God that says, I always trust that God will come through for me. I trust in God's ability to provide. I trust in God's ability to lead me. I trust in God's ability to actually put me directly to where I need to go, or whatever the case is. I'm not going to worry. You create space for God to come through and to do what God needs to do for your life. And that's faith. Faith is trusting that what you are doing is going to work out, and what God is doing for you is going to work out. So therefore, you don't have to control every single aspect of everything. You can sit back and relax and know that the masculine is capable. And if you believe that the masculine is capable, you will always see that being shown in your life. And it has everything to do with men in your physical reality, and then also men, obviously, in the spiritual plane. The only guy in your life on the spiritual plane, the divine masculine principle. Building faith is believing in masculine energy. Building faith is knowing and trusting in God, trusting in the universe. And you build faith every single time you can't understand something. You're in a place where you're confused. You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know, da 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 da. And when you're in that space, you learn how to surrender your problems to God, let go and let God. You have tried everything on the physical plane. You tried to do this, you tried to go over here, you thought about it 100 million times, and the answer is still not clear. And every time you're in that space and you actually let it go and surrender it and watch when God provides the answer, solution, or whatever it is, you build more and more and more faith. And when you radiate that energy, it is the most magnetic energy that there is. Because God, men, whatever, will always try to prove you right. Every single time. Every single time. That was today's video where we talked about magnetism and attraction and all these beautiful things from the energetic component. Yes, the goddess is so powerful. Mother God is so powerful. And we are divine representations, human representations of that Mother God principle. But we cannot solely focus on one aspect of creation and forget about the other. We need both unified in relationship with each other in order to fully create anything in this world, including your own state of being, including your magnetism, including your abundance, including the life of your dreams. And if you like that video, if that resonated with you, I know could be a little triggering, but whatever the case is, I don't care. I'm gonna just start saying what I need to say. But like this video if you enjoyed this, send this to somebody who would be interested in this type of topic, and make sure you check out my description box below. I have so many different programs on there that can help you manifest, and I also have a retreat coming up as well. So definitely stay tuned to that. You can learn more information about that retreat if you want to embody that next level magnetism in your life so you can attract whatever it is that you're desiring. Definitely check out my retreat down below. And yeah, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.